Hi guys, so Paul Bates here, Board the Loop Princess. Hope you liked that little intro right there. We took the boat out today for a little ride, further than I've ever taken. It probably went out for maybe about an hour and a half, and did a little ride, and that was us coming into the marina there. Anyway, today I really want to talk about the solar system that I put on the Loop Princess. So it all started, I had to put the hard-to top on, and the reason I put that hard-to top on, a couple reasons. One, my canvas is old. And two, and I was going to have to replace it anyway, and two, I wanted to put these solar panels on. Now, I already own the solar panels, so what I had to do is buy a Vectron solar charger, and I added that to the system. And ever since I've got the system up and running, I've never had to plug that system into shore power, ever. And it runs my freezer 100% full-time for the last 30 days. You can see right here in on our Vectron charger right here. Let it pull up here, and I'll show you the full screen of it here. But every one of these right here, that's 30 days of charging. We've created 23 kilowatts of energy. And these white right here that's bulk charging. That's what it takes to get to the battery to 100%. Well, when it goes in, it goes from bulk to absorption to float. And it takes all three of those. And I use a LifePO4 battery, 200 amp hour battery, just one on the Loop Princess here. And I completely separated it from my 12 volt system on the engines. So it runs independent, and it strictly runs off the solar power. And that solar power runs the charge station up front. I'll show you a little picture here. And it runs the freezer full time and the refrigerator. When we leave the marina, like right now, we're simulating that we're on the hook right now tonight, and I'm going to run the refrigerator all night and the freezer and any fans, lights, and anything else that we might need, all off the LifePO4 battery. Now, this video, I really don't want to talk about the battery. I wanted to talk a little bit about solar, because I think people, you know, they don't put enough panels on to do what they're trying to accomplish. To get my battery fully charged every single day, I need almost an equal amount of watts of solar power that I do watts for my inverter, basically. And that's just my opinion. So if you have a 4,000 watt inverter on a 12 volt system, which you shouldn't, that's too much. 12 volt system, in my opinion, this is my opinion only. I mean, there's a lot of people that run those big inverters on 12 volt, but I wouldn't do it. I would 24 volt or 48 volt is what those systems should be run on when you start getting to the 4,000 watt inverters. We, on these small boats running these 12 volt systems, should be around 2,500 watts. Now, I can't get 2,500 watts. I could get 2,500 watts if I used my back roof. I could probably get 2,500 watts of solar up there. It would be close, but I don't need it. I'm fine on the Loop Princess here with 800 watts of solar, 1,000 watt inverter. It'll run my refrigerator, runs my freezer. My freezer is completely independent. That is just hooked up to 12 volt, straight 12 volt over in my charge station. So I can charge anything I want any time of the day, you know, whether it's a cell phone, whether it's anything, and it's all running on the LifePO4 battery. And also, and it runs that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week since I've owned it. I've never had to plug that battery. I've never had to turn on the shore power Vectron to charge that battery since I fired it up. It just hasn't, I haven't needed to. And you can see right here on the bars, I'll show you a graph right here, but on that system, it's, there was 3 days in the last 30 days where the sun was not out. It was cloudy, and my battery never got to absorption or float. It just went to bulk all day. But then I'm monitoring it through my battery app, and I can see where my charge is. So the system doesn't have to be complicated. You can keep it very, very simple. Now, I did separate my panels. So like we had an electrical storm the other day, and I was able to shut my panels off from the Vectron. So I can separate the panels from the Vectron. And I don't know if I need to do that, but it's just something I want to do. I want to be able to shut the system completely down 100% when we have an electrical storm, and I did have to use that feature. So if you want to run a solar system on your boat, you know, a good system, you'll need about 800 to 1,000 watts. And that'll run a 1,000-watt inverter pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without multiple cloud days. With a 200 amp hour, usable amp hours, you should be able to accomplish that pretty easy. And what I mean by that is some of these guys will put these big 4,000-watt inverters on these 4,000 watt inverter in a 12-volt system, and in my opinion, that's too big. The biggest inverter you should be running on a 12-volt system, this is just my opinion, is 2,500. That's about what your wires and all that stuff can handle, because what happens, you got to make those wires so big around, because when you're trying to draw down that much juice to run 4,000 watts, which will basically run an air conditioner, a small air conditioner, and you can do that with a 4,000 amp, but I mean, I'd have to have 4,000, 4,500 watts of solar to run that type of inverter. And I didn't do that. You know, my system is literally for 12 volts. And I put a 1,000-watt inverter on there, and I can run, I don't know, probably, I don't want to say unlimitedly, because if I had multiple, probably about 4 days of no sun, then I may have to turn on the Vectron. But I've always come up with the solution that I will have to run my generator a little bit at Anchorage every night. You know, we turn it on. We're going to use it to make hot water at the same time. I will turn the Vectron on if I needed to, because I didn't have enough solar power. And then I'll be able to shut the generator off at night and run my refrigerator for the rest of the night. So my plan, my original plan, I always had this plan that I would only run my generator on my boat at the most, you know, probably 2 to 4 hours a day. And then maybe cool it off in the evening with the air conditioner, and then switch over to the LifePO4 battery, the 200 amp hour battery. And hopefully that all works out. And I've been testing it in the slip, and it has worked so far. I haven't even come close to stretching its legs all the way and taking it all the way down. Even when I had 2 back-to-back cloudy days, on the third day, the clouds came up here, and I'll show you the graph right here. And the boat was able to maintain its solar system, and I didn't have any problem. I still never had to turn on the Vectron. So if you got any questions or anything like that, reach out to me, man. I'm happy to help you, and especially if you want to help put a system together. They can be reasonable for you guys in the, you know, a little bit less expensive boats. That's my boat is, you know, it was a $40,000 boat. You know, I've dumped a few $1,000s into this boat. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I do have an incredibly nice solar system on it. And I believe it'll last for years and years and years, and it'll be pretty much maintenance free throughout the entire loop, or whatever we decide to do. Anyway, Paul Bates, peace out. Love you guys. Try and stay out of trouble, or be good at it. Thank you. Bye. Paul.
Beverly and Daisy from the Loop Princess.
Thank you so much for watching. Here's to salt under your keel and safe voyages. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Thank you.